Okay. All righty, folks. Thank you for coming and welcome to the June 2nd full commission meeting. Of course, we are here at the Columbus Metropolitan Library, our very own Hilltop branch. Starting off, I first do have to announce that we did have our treasurer, Ronette McKee, unfortunately had to resign earlier today, just due to some schedule conflicts. However, Ronette, of course, sends their well wishes and their gratitude for time on the board. So there is now an additional vacancy, but that appointment process will be July. So, no worries. But of course, our agenda is subject to modifications, and we're gonna go ahead, and call for those additions and deletions right after we do our roll call. And I'll hand that portion over to Jim.
Thank you. When your name is called, please state your presence. Chair Matteen.
Here.
Vice Chair Amin.
Here.
Secretary Ardress present, and starting with Commissioner Edward. Present. Commissioner Wilkerson.
Here.
Commissioner Kitchen.
Here.
Commissioner Bates.
Here.
Commissioner Smith.
Here.
Commissioner Maddox.
Here.
Commissioner Klingo.
Here.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and event quorum.
All right, beautiful. Looking over the agenda, are there anything that needs to be added or deleted?
The Westwood Drive address should not be up there for the applicant presentation.
Okay, I did send a couple of different copies, y'all, of the agenda, so, we might just gotta swap for, the newer one, but noted. Alrighty, and do we all approve of our minutes and agenda of last, full commission meeting in May? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any not in favor? Abstained?
Let's approve these agenda first with a voice vote, and then we'll go to the last ones.
Thank you, Joe. I never get it right. I have not gotten it right yet, y'all. But let's approve let's move to approve.
We know that the Westwood Drive is not on this.
Yes. Yes, so, I'll move to approve the agenda without the Westwood Drive. Say aye.
Aye.
All right, not in favor. Abstained. All right.
And
Go
we
ahead.
can approve the minutes from last month. I have received no edits, so I'll make a motion to approve the May 2026 minutes.
All in favor?
Aye.
And Maddox seconds, and all in favor.
Aye.
Okay. All righty, folks, we will go ahead and do our community stakeholder activity reports. And we're first gonna start with the Division of Police. I see Officer Cody is in the building tonight.
My mic on? I had an interesting presentation from Housing and Development. They gave us CLOs about kind of like the homeless situation, especially here on the west side that we deal with a lot. A lot of my complaints and 311s are concerning that. So I don't know if any of you guys are aware of, but the city put together a court to deal with those individuals. The Columbus Outreach and Resource Engagement Team. So they said it's a team of about 7 people that works directly with the city. And while Mary Haven's outreach is sometimes overwhelming, and they are only there to kind of treat for present need, this team is gonna like hold their hand a little bit more and try and get them into permanent housing. I thought it was interesting that they're gonna, with Mary Haven's high case load, time is very limited with each 3 people. So they're hoping to reach out to like maybe 120 people just in the first start of this deal. And that's about all I have.
Thank you, Officer Cody. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Okay, along to the attorney's office, Did we have a representative at all tonight? Alrighty, city council at all? Okay, and Jocelyn actually will be here later on, so, we'll save her reports, for later, if she gets to make it here. And Hilltop Press.
Okay. Try again. I'm blaming Cody.
It's me.
Okay. All right. Okay. And better, there we go. So for those of you who know, Hilltop Rise Economic Development CDC for the Hilltop, I just have a quick announcement. 2 weeks from tomorrow, on Wednesday, June 17th, our Historic Preservation Committee is hosting a walking tour, starting from St. Aloysius Church. So in late April, our committee hosted its first public tour event, and that was at Hillcrest Baptist Church. It was really well received. All of our events are free and open to anyone. So even if you have times, we encourage you to come. You can else you can meet some neighbors. So again, Wednesday, June 17th, 6:30 to 7:30. It'll only get about a mile of walking, and we'll have some refreshment. No RSVP is needed, but if you have some more information, you can look up Hilltop Rise. We've posted it on social media. Thank you.
Thank you. And, we have any reports?
Everyone, I'm Kevin Moore, the pastor of Get Up Hope Methodist Church and the co-leader of the Envision Hilltop team. For those of you who are not aware of what that is, the Envision Hilltop Community Plan was developed with a lot of input from this community back in 2020, with a number of goals established to the concerns that we have here on the Hilltop, to make the Hilltop better. And there's an advisory team meets quarterly to get updates and continue to work on ways to turn that into reality. You can find out more about that plan by going to envisionhilltop.com. It's all one word, envisionhilltop.com, where you can read the plan. You also see what progress has been made on all of those, which is very interesting. And the next advisory team meeting is happening on June the 16th, which is a Tuesday. And we're going to be meeting at the Hilltop Early Learning Center, which is located there on Clarendon. And the final agenda is still being put together, but one of the presentations I'm very excited about is Principal Roberts from West High School is going to be there to give an update on the academy programs that are being set up there at West. That'll be very interesting. So I would encourage everybody to go check that out. And while I'm up here, I want to just, if I can just slide in and also share quickly about a community survey that is being organized by the Neighborhood Design Center in tandem with CODA, because hopefully you all know that bus rapid transit is coming to West Broad. There's going to be anticipated development along West Broad to go with the transit-oriented development that's going to be happening. This is a great opportunity for us in the community to have a say on what kind of development, new development, we want to see along West Broad. What do you want to see? What you do not want to see? So the Neighborhood Design Center is looking for surveys. I've got the forms here. I'm going to pass them around, and I would encourage you to scan the QR code and fill out the survey and let your voice be heard. Any questions?
I don't see the time at the Tuesday.
It starts from 5:30 to 7:30. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pastor. Alrighty, folks, unfortunately, zoning will not be joining us this evening. But we will go ahead and move forward with any commissioner announcements. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any announcements that they want to make at this time?
I do, but I'll wait till, in case someone else there.
Okay.
Okay, Thank you. Just two items. Of course, we're here in the library branch on the Hilltop. Summer reading challenge is ongoing from June 1st to July 31st. You can find information about that on their website and sign up your family or young ones yourself and compete for prizes. And then also Step in the right direction, which is a local advocacy organization. They are hosting their sixth annual West Side Community Bash at the Westgate Park on the 7th. What is that, Saturday? On Sunday from noon to 3, and that's this Sunday from noon to 3. Step in the right direction, sixth annual Westgate Park Bash from noon to 3. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Alrighty, folks, did we have any more announcements from commissioners at all? Upcoming events, things to keep in mind. Alright. Okay, so we will go ahead and move on to the community organization presentations. Today, we only have one from State Point, our local harm reduction center. So I will go ahead and turn this portion over to Elizabeth Onzima, who is the site program manager over there at State Point.
Thank you so much to the commission for inviting Safe Point here tonight to kind of go over some gentle, I think, in 2026 reminders that we have and need now more than ever about people first language and how important it is in the community. It can seem like something that we all know at heart that we should do and should practice. Some days obviously are harder than others. I'm in a unique position to have the honor of working at the program that I do, working alongside people like Ms. Mateen and others who care for and oversee folks in the community that we share with them. So I think that I start to talk about people first language. I want everybody in here to think of somebody in their life who is the most important person to you. Whoever that is. Is it your child? Is it your mother? Is it your best friend? Think of that person. Because in order to truly be able to understand people first language and its importance, you have to see the person first. You have to see that person in front of you as a person. And you don't want to see the person in front of you as perhaps their disability, their addiction, their struggles, their mistakes. I think all of us in here could probably agree that we might have made some choices in our lives that we would hope we would not want to be defined by for the rest of our lives. I can personally say that I know that I have made some mistakes in the way that I have chosen to speak to people, to speak about people in my life, or even to treat them. And having been given the grace to learn from those interactions and encounters and grow is what's really important. And I think even as adults now, we can still do that. Because it's easy to rush to frustration when maybe you are in a community where you are experiencing folks who are struggling and you want to immediately jump to the fact that, you know, they're thieves, they are addicted, you can't trust them. But in order to be able to make the choice that you need to make in how you choose to interact with that person is what's most important, because you always have a choice, right? If it's too frustrating a situation for you, sometimes the best choice is to maybe just walk away and to not say anything. But I think we've seen certain events in the community where people did not take that moment to think, did not take those moments to maybe just walk away because they were so frustrated. And sometimes in life, depending on what you say and what you do, obviously, we all know it will follow us forever. So I'm here tonight to hopefully give you a little window into SafePoint and what we do there. I've had the experience to be in front of the commission before and have the support of the commission again. So I'm going to come to you from a perspective of what I do every day at SafePoint, but while I'm doing this, I want to be sure that you are thinking about that one person that is so important to you the whole time I'm doing this presentation. That's first slide. So when we talk about harm reduction here in the community and in the city, they are a set of strategies, obviously, to mitigate harm, to reduce harm from high-risk activities. We often engage with a spectrum of interventions, and we consider the needs of the individual. We always want to consider the needs of the individual, and we want to listen. We want to be active listeners in that process. We also want to always believe that every single person has value, has dignity, without qualifiers. No qualifiers. And it is bodily and personal autonomy and agency at its core. So those are some of the most important things to remember. That person's bodily autonomy and that they have agency over their lives as well. Next slide. So obviously, as I was getting into earlier, people first language is a communication style that would emphasize the person before any condition, any trait, any disability. So when you are moving through your day-to-day lives, when you are educating your children, when you're talking to your groups of friends, you would want to have examples when you're speaking about somebody who might have a disability, and you would say people with a disability. You would say a person experiencing homelessness. We don't want to put that condition before that person when we're even discussing them with other folks. And we would want to say a person who uses substances, who might, because we also have to remember too, when we think about people who are using substances in our community, often we want to have the first inclination that we go to be that, oh, they're addicted. They're addicted to substances. There are people who use substances casually. There are students who are using substances on campus. So the rush to just assume addiction when we're talking about folks who might be using or engaging with substances, we don't want to do that. So it would be a person who is using substances. That's what we want to say. Next slide. Stigma obviously is at the core of what not using person first language can cause. Stigma is what I battle against every day in the community when I'm representing the folks that I care for at SafePoint. And I can also stand up here and say that anybody could be a person that I see at SafePoint. It could be a family member, it could be somebody who cares for you in the community, it could be anyone. It could be my mother, because it was my mother. And my mother is a nurse. So my mother might have cared for you. So I think it's important to understand that if you stigmatize that individual and not treat them with the same respect that you would want somebody to treat that one person that you're thinking about right now while I'm giving this presentation, you're doing them a disservice, and you're also making it much more difficult for them to move through their day-to-day and want to maybe make some different choices for their self, or assume that people would be supportive of them doing so. So I think there are other examples up here. If we're talking about a person who might be using substances and we use the word addict, we use those types of words, obviously, you know, junkie, things like that. That person is just going to shut down. That's their day to day. That's what they hear all the time. from, you know, media, from people that they engage with, day in and day out. There's no positive, uplifting moments for them. They're rare. I have folks that come into Safe Point daily who are just happy to have us say hello to them and ask them how their day was. And people don't do that. And I'm not standing up here to say that I am perfect and that I execute this perfectly all the time. But I am standing up here to say that now more than ever, it is so much more important to try to pause and think of these things when we're engaging with folks out here, because it's hard out here right now. It's harder probably than it ever has been for folks who are struggling. Programs that they're used to engaging with are being shut down, losing staff, they're losing people that they're used to seeing and engaging with every day. It's difficult. So now more than ever, it's more important to just see them as that person that you love so much. When you're trying to work with them, when you might be struggling with them and having an issue with them, if you're law enforcement, if you're, you know, somebody who's working on code violations or things like that, it's easy to look at the person in front of you and say, my God, I've seen you 7 times this week. Stop for a moment and ask yourself why you have seen them 7 times this week. What isn't happening in their life that might be happening in yours that's preventing them from being able to make different choices or move in a different manner? You know, when we're working with folks who might be in recovery, and we would want to say somebody is a non-compliant person. You know, you don't want to label them as that because they're not going to want to keep trying. It just kind of closes that door in their mind. Empowerment is the goal for that person. So harm reduction is about respecting that person's choices, not what you want to see them do, because we all do that, right? Like, I really want them to do X, Y, Z. But if they're standing in front of you and they have 6 decisions to make, and 2 of them involve not having a roof over their head or not having food in their stomach, those are the 2 things that are going to move to the front of the list, no matter what the other 4 are. So we have to remember that we must respect their choices, and the words that we use need to feel supportive and not pushy, so they can make their own health decisions, so they can make the decisions that hopefully impact them for the good going forward. Next slide. So obviously we all have this and that, and we have the harmful words and the thoughtful words. So we have things like addict, substance use disorder, but we could say a person, like I said earlier, who is using drugs, a person who is using substances. Something that is so powerful is calling a person by their name. Just using their name is an amazing way to make an impactful connection for somebody that is going to build a bridge, help you earn some trust with that person, help you continue to be able to work in a stronger capacity with that individual. So using their name, we really want to stay away from, the old standards of you're clean, you're dirty. Words are so powerful, and those will stick on you like nothing else. So we would want to say you're either using or not using substances. You don't want to ever refer to somebody as a clean person or a dirty person. Abuse, misuse, those words also carry a negative connotation. You just use the word use. And then non-compliant, resistant, we would rather use met or has not met in those regards. And I think also what is so important here is to understand at a core level, when you're working with that person in front of you, whether you're frustrated with them or not, whether you don't think you're going to make any headway, it will. We have people that come back to Safe Point, who have come back to Safe Point for years, who have on their journeys, stopped using substances and maybe have started using again. Perhaps it was a traumatic event in their life, but they came back because they remembered how we treated them. They came back because they trusted us. So if you use words on the left-hand side as a first encounter with these folks, the likelihood that they're going to want to come back or trust you with their choices, decisions, next chapters and journeys that they have to make goes down significantly. Next slide. So terms that seem acceptable but aren't always acceptable. So there is the nuance, right? So substance use, substance abuse, addiction, relapse. There are clinical terms in the DSM, specific diagnostic meanings. Outside of medical treatment contexts, it can cause people to make assumptions about a person's relationship to substances. And in general conversations, substance use or people who use drugs, or have returned to use are kind of the more acceptable ways to speak about things. As I said earlier, when you're using things like clean and dirty, it stimulates a harmful belief about that person in themselves. And it's important when you witness these things too, that you know aren't sitting well with you. Maybe you've heard a practicing person who's working with this individual say something similar to these things. You would want to pull that person to the side and gently remind them that, you know, this is a person that you're working with, especially if it's somebody that maybe you are representing in care. Are you their social worker? You know, and you've taken them to a doctor's appointment and maybe a practicing physician or nurse has spoken in this way about your particular client that you're representing, you would want to talk with them after. Because if we don't make these reminders to folks, the harm and the patterns of harm continue for them and make them less trusting in medical care personnel, in people who are the helpers, who are seen as the helpers by them. Next slide. Language and housing instability. Circumstances are not a person's identity. You want to avoid permanent language, chronically homeless, things like that, because choices can cause change and bring about change, and everybody is able to choose. They might not choose in the time frame that you would like them to. They might not meet these goals that you set for them as quick as you would like them to, but they still have the ability to make choices for themselves and do something that will improve their circumstances. You always want to ask and not assume from people. Making assumptions is also really harmful. And following that person's lead that's in front of you, just being an active listener with them and not putting your own belief system upon that conversation or what you would like to see happen into that conversation is really important. Next slide. Principles to practice, things that you can carry forward. The person is never defined by their substance use or their housing status. You want to avoid clinical terms outside of appropriate diagnostic context. So if you're not a person who has been given the ability to diagnose or things like that, you want to really stay away from those terms while you're working with that person. And your language with that person should never imply any moral judgments upon them. Your language reflects belief. Words suggest when words suggest that someone is helpless or incapable, it's worth asking ourselves what assumptions we're bringing into that conversation in the moment. And then we also have some further education that you can choose to refer back to. Ms. Mateen also will have this presentation in full. If anybody does want it, there are some printouts over on the table for all of you. But I just encourage you in a time right now where we're all really feeling a lot of weight and heaviness, to take that pause when you are engaging with your fellow community members, because they all are. They are all your fellow community members here and who we represent here on the west side, who we live alongside and try to care for. Just in those moments, really take that pause and speak from the most positive place when you're thinking about that person that means the most to you in your life, because they are probably that person to someone. So that is what I would hope. Safe Point is always in the community. If anybody wants to come by, if anybody wants to volunteer, you can always reach out to myself or Ms. Mateen to kind of get those information details, so you can volunteer as well if you wanted to. But I really appreciate the commission's time tonight, and I hope that you all are able to move through the world peacefully and as best you can right now, because it is hard. So
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Did we, first of all, round of applause for Elizabeth. Absolutely beautiful, compassionate. Did anyone have any questions at all from the community, really quick for Elizabeth? Like Elizabeth mentioned, you all can definitely come get additional information from me. Safe Point is located, over on West Broad, and they house a plethora of resources, for folks living here on the west side. So definitely encourage you to talk to folks more and explore more and come to us if you meet.
It's not so much a question, but I mean, I do have some real concerns. I mean, I hear about the need for harm reduction and people have bodily autonomy. I understand that. I also assume I have not suffered from addiction really, but my impression is of folks that are suffering with addiction, that it makes it very difficult to make good choices when you're and it's very, and then people will make choices, but the choices they make impact the quality of life around them. So, I mean, it's very complicated. I hear what you're saying, a lot of nuance. So we don't have enough time to talk about it in space. So that's my question is there any, would you be able to maybe work with me or try to find out some opportunities where we could have some kind of more community discussions around just the concept of harm reduction, to really kind of delve deeper and really have some pushback for those who are for it and for those who think it's actually enabling bad behavior, so we can really have a much more robust conversation than what's allowed here.
yeah,
I think it's really important because there's some folks in this room who are about ready to blow their head because it's ridiculous. So
I understand, and like I said, I'm not standing up here saying that I don't understand the frustrations that we have in the community with folks who are struggling and the choices that they're making, but I also want to say and make sure that you understand that I work alongside folks that likely you would have blown your tops at and dismissed and thought that they couldn't ever do better. I work alongside them with honor and pride every day. So change is possible, but I think what we struggle with is the timeline that we set for it. We set timelines that are not realistic for somebody who is struggling with something as deep as addiction, if that is what we're needing here, if that's what we're talking about. But I'm always happy to have those deeper conversations and to really dive in. I've had the honor of making this kind of my mission for years, and seeing people through some really dark and terrible times, and watching my own mother also endure that as well in her life, and people dismissing her as a registered nurse. You know, so I just challenge you in the moments where you want to blow your top and give up or write a person off. I'd rather you in that moment just walk away versus saying something that could leave a lasting scar on another individual. Because it's okay to walk away. It's okay. You don't have to say something all the time.
but it's also good for people when they make certain decisions and choices that you are able to express how their choice really hurts. It hurts them, it hurts me. It hurts me to see people make the choices that they make, so it does. People have to hear that too, it's not, they can't, it's not.
Yeah, I think we also underestimate how much folks who are, who may be experiencing, or people who may be living on the land, or folks who may use substances, hear that. I also second Elizabeth because, I grew up with a mother who was often in active, use, sometimes chaotic use. But my mother, we lived over there on South Lane and in Clarendon, and the people will tell you, my mother kept that neighborhood together. My mom kept a lot of people's young boys from making harmful decisions. So there are people that, you know, my mom was one of those people you might have wanted to blow your top off of. And of course, you know, she has a pretty big personality, so that's natural. But people still add value, and I think after a certain time, like Elizabeth said, words carry energy and they carry charges. And you can always remove yourself, like Elizabeth said. There are ways to engage without being harmful. And we know that there are choices that are made that harm other people, but also a lot of times I've seen a lot of folks who, like I said, who are maybe in that arena experiencing those struggles, also make decisions to protect their own, the folks that they're around, who make decisions to protect their communities. And whether we like it or not, we share a community with our folks. And in addition to that, I also challenge folks to remember that you're a lot closer to some of the struggles that you pinpoint, rather than the opposite end. There was an interview done with a person who was experiencing being homeless, or who was currently homeless in California. And they also use the substance of methamphetamines. And, you know, the journalist asked, why would you do this to yourself? Why would you harm yourself? And they explained their situation and also said, you try to go to sleep when it's 105 degrees and you have nowhere to lay down other than the asphalt, in California or the Nevada valleys. So I think that there is definitely conversation to be had, that the continuous compassion of folks, I think, is what ignites. When you look at revolutions, when you look at movements, it has always been a deep compassion and deep care that has been able to ignite things. So I thank you, Elizabeth, deeply. Once again, we are definitely open. Safe Point is open to hosting conversations, more, not conversations, but trainings for folks who are really invested, like I said, in making a change and showing compassion to some of our most vulnerable communities. So thank you. Go ahead, Elizabeth.
So just want to say one more thing in response to, so the core program that is being initiated. I was a part of a pilot in the community that was initiated by the Columbus Shelter Board and a bunch of other agencies that came together to help 12 people, to help there might have been 12 or 13 people in the camp, to help get them housed. We all pulled together, Mary Haven, Mount Carmel, you name it, everybody was at the table. And I think it's important to in part hear that why groups like CORE needs to be initiated. We had endless providers helping these folks navigate the process of housing, who were unhoused, who were struggling with mental health, who were struggling with addiction. It took us a year and a half to house 9 people.
Yeah.
So the timelines that sometimes I was saying earlier that we want to see and put upon folks to get things done, so they're not going to be frustrating to us or cause the issues that we're seeing, take time. And I can speak to one particular individual who I've seen on several Franklinton posts, who it's taken his caseworker almost 6 years to get him housed. So the more folks I think that think about that and the time that it takes, and knowing that maybe a place like Safe Point, who only has 6 employees, what could be done if we can set a little bit more of maybe the judgment we have or the skepticism that we have aside and just come together for people as people and help get them taken care of. Because that man that it took him 6 years to get housed, he deserves to be housed just as much as I do.
6 years.
And it shouldn't have taken 6 years. It shouldn't have taken that 9 folks to get housed a year and a half with probably almost close to 25 providers. Actually, we're all short-staffed, we're all stressed out, funding is getting cut. So that's why I think Ms. Mateen brought me here tonight to kind of reinforce the importance of now more than ever. Because if not now, when. So thank you all. I
Thank you,
appreciate the
Elizabeth.
grace.
Yes,
Have a wonderful night.
and you had something, Nick?
Yeah, just real quick, one of the things that, from harm reduction experts, that I've listened to over the years, they've often said, it's never too late for somebody to make a better choice, right? And, when we look at kind of the balance of compassion and kind of wanting to blow your top, if you've ever had a 16-year-old child, you know exactly how that balance exists every day of your life. Couple weeks ago, big rainstorm, my 16-year-old, was out. I texted them at 8 o'clock, hey, better get home. They didn't said, oh, sorry, I didn't look at my phone till 8:35. Their curfew is 9 o'clock, but they stayed late at a meeting, drove a friend home. By the time they tried to get home, it was a massive downpour, couldn't see 5 feet in front of you. Kid's been driving for about a month. Yeah, and so I then ended up yelling at the top of my lungs while driving all the way to Clintonville to pick them up. Got there though, by the time I got there, I said, thank you so much for calling. Because if they would have tried to drive home, the likelihood that they would have floated their car down the Scioto River would have been pretty high. Because it was that really bad night, Tuesday night, a couple of weeks back. So yeah, I mean, I think this is the reality is, it's somebody, they're using, they're using a substance, they're using needles, but they decide to take it to a needle exchange instead of leaving it in the park. Let's celebrate that. Because now the park is cleaner for my kids and my pets.
Sure.
Right. And when I go out. And so finding those little wins, I think as a community that we can lift up and celebrate as we try to move individuals and the community forward. I think it's a great thing. And thank you for your involvement with some of that work as well.
Of course, and remembering, if you do blow your top, you can always go back to that person and say, hey, I'm sorry, let's try a different route. Let's do that if we can.
Yep.
But again, if you can't, you can always just say nothing. I'm not going. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, folks. Once again, thank you to Elizabeth and Save Point for putting together that awesome presentation. Please feel free to reach out to me if you guys want more information, and take a look at some of the handouts over here on the table. All right, folks. So moving forward, we're going to go into reports of officers. From my standpoint, I don't have any reports. Of course, I announced that vacancy at the beginning of the meeting. And once again, we have 2 open tonight that we're going to appoint to, but this 3rd one will be shelved until July. So yeah, Vice Chair, did you have anything? No. Okay. Secretary Joe?
Besides that, no other changes in current attendance.
Okay, perfect. And of course, former Chairperson McKee was our treasurer, but there are at this time, no changes to any treasury or budget items. Moving forward, we will go ahead and move to reports of committees. I believe and folks correct me if I'm wrong, because Chairperson Ashley is out. Do we have any community relations updates?
There was no meeting in May.
No meeting in May? Okay.
We're just planning the rest of the summer and fall.
Yeah. Alrighty, government and legislation.
Zoning first.
Yes. Y'all, I'm sorry, y'all. I promise one day I'm gonna get the agenda and last agenda motions and then zoning in its right place. I swear. Thank you, Pastor Orr. Yeah.
Thank you. So the zoning committee met last Wednesday. We heard 3 applications. The first one took the preponderance of our time, was Z26013 for 2350 Westwood Drive. We received substantial community feedback on this application. They want to amend to have a change in zoning law, or for the property, a change in their zoning status from apartments over to a manufacturing 2 property. If you're familiar, this is the area, very narrow street, and it's about 2 acres of wooded area right behind a park leading over to the state-owned land over there. There are major concerns about the size of the road, animals and wildlife in the area, and other things. So we raised the issue of if they, before they purchase the land, if they'd be willing to do an environmental study and impact study to know about river runoff, erosion, and potential endangered species, and we have not heard back from them yet, and if they are interested in performing that environmental audit. They want to convert this to manufacturing to build a fiber optic boost station. If you're unfamiliar, fiber optic internet lines need to have these boost stations to like speed it up. If you think like, the way I'm understanding this is like, you remember those little micro machines that you had as kids? Where like it goes through and it's got the little wheel spinning that kind of, the car comes down the loop and then kind of zooms them forward. That's what I think this boost station would be. It is not for residential fiber optics, so it will not help our homes, but it's for businesses. And they did provide a map with a very few dots actually in the hilltop of businesses they currently have. I will say one of the mentions when he said, but it could attract future business, one of the businesses he did mention that hearing was a data center. So we'll just leave that out there. So we have asked them around the environmental impact of this proposal, and we'll wait to hear back from them. So the earliest that we would rehear their application in committee would be the end of August. But it's going to depend on their answers to our continued questions. So we did have 2 additional applications that came forward. We did not have a quorum at our zoning committee. So we were not able to make a formal recommendation through vote for this committee, for our commission meeting this evening. So I would like to move to suspend our traditional rules that we require that after that approval or that vote from the committee before applications for BZA 26-047 and BZA 26-040. Second. Thank you.
Hold on, I need to record this.
Yeah, and I think just a voice vote would be fine for the. Cool.
You want to call voice and not roll?
Yeah, I think voice is fine.
Are you seeking to waive the rule for both?
Yes.
And that motion was made, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'm opposed.
Any abstain? All right, thank you. All right, so at this time, I'd like to have BZA 26-047 for 3469 Eakin Road to come forward and talk about their proposal for a new deck on the front of their property to replace existing concrete steps.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Obel, my wife, Stephanie Bullock. We're currently, the owners of 3469 Eakin Road. Currently, we have quite the, front porch. It is currently a 6x6 safety hazard. I'm not sure what kind of material it was previously built from, but, basically, it is deteriorating to I'm afraid like a postman is going to trip and fall. I do have pictures if you need me to, pass that around, I can do so. But basically, what I understand of the statute is we're only allowed a 4x4. Currently, we have a 6x6, and we would like, if possible, to extend it to a 6x10, basically along the front of our house. We just want more of a real walk space between our driveway and our front door. Right now, it is currently pavers that were there since before our house, or before we bought our house. We would also like to do more like container gardening on the front of the house, because we have chickens in the back that like to eat everything. So that's the hope and plan. We're planning on doing it with composite decking, so it's something that is going to look good for a long period of time. And I will answer any questions that anyone might have.
Thank you. Are there any questions from commissioners? Yeah. And in the application, which is in the zoning file, you can see some of the digital images of what the new porch from the design firm of what the new deck on the front will look like. Any questions from commissioners? Any questions from community members? Seeing none, I would like to move that we approve the zoning variance for BZA 26-047.
Second. When I call your name, please indicate if you in favor or opposed or abstain from the vote, and we'll start with Chair Bates.
Yes.
And I will go next and move to my right, and I say yes. Commissioner Lindo?
Yes.
Commissioner Maddox?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Christine?
Yeah.
Commissioner Mead?
Yeah.
Commissioner Kitchen?
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkerson? And last but not least, yes. Okay.
Thank you very much, Commissioner.
Thank you. Just so you're aware of the next steps, I have a standard recommendation form that I will send in. You'll be CC'd on that email to the city within the next one, leaving on Thursday. So hopefully get it done tomorrow. Great. Yeah, I was gotta get in before the end of the week, so that'll go in and then the city will follow up with you on the final approval through city council for this. Thank you guys so much for that. Next application is BZA 26-040 for 3732 Sullivan Avenue. And this is for variances related to an existing impound lot to bring it into compliance. And then also with this type of property, special permits are required for this activity. So we'll have to, so we can approve those.
Thank you, Mr. Dog. Can you hear me now?
Is that better? Oh, that sounds good.
Good evening, commissioners. My name is Craig Moncrief. I'm an attorney with Plank Law Firm. We represent the property owner, BM Towing. I've got BK, the property owner here, as well as our engineer, Mike Williamson. We are making two requests for recommendation of approval. That is, one is a special permit for a small impound lot. The other involves certain setback variances, which I can go into to kind of give you a high level view. This property is fairly unique in that it's got access to Sullivan Avenue, but it's actually about 700 feet from Sullivan Avenue. So it's fairly isolated back there. It's in what I'll call the industrial triangle. The railroad is to the north. You got Wilson Road to the east, Sullivan Avenue in the south. So as you can see, there's a lot of industrial open storage development for this property in the west as well. This property is zoned and manufacturing. It's been that way since the fifties. It's been used for industrial purposes since at least the early nineties. Our client bought the property in 2022. And the issue is certain uses require a special permit, salvage yard, things of that like. Unfortunately, impound lot is one of those, which personally I disagree with since I don't view it as necessarily at the same level as a salvage yard, but it is what it is. So that's what we're requesting. It's a limited request in the sense of it's only going to be a portion along the western property line. It's going to be encircled by a chain link fence that has mesh around it, so it won't be visible. And it's going to be kept to a strict portion of the western property line. That way it's closer to, as you can see, kind of the other industrial uses out there. PK runs a towing yard, so therefore he's got kind of traditional industrial uses, truck storage, trailer storage, things like that. We're also going through the final site compliance plan process, which is it requires pretty thorough engineering, things like that. So there's going to be a lot of site improvements. One thing is stream corridor buffer. You can kind of see there's a little stream running through the property. We have to buffer within 50 feet of that, so no changes there. There's also going to be a retention pond installed along the northern property line close to that, so that should help with stormwater flow, things like that. There's a wooden fence along the eastern property line. Gravel's approved for the site, so this will help with ensuring there's fire lanes, proper access, things like that, and really maintaining a proper site. The other variance for open storage setback, city requires 20 feet from all property lines. In this case, he owns 3 properties. He can't combine them, so we're asking for a variance just because there's really no need to provide a setback from your own property lines. So those are the requests. City staff had no comments about it. We've been going through the final site compliant plan process with no issues. So happy to answer any questions you have.
Questions from committee members? Commissioner Smith?
Thank you, Chair. This is more of a question or I guess request from you. But could you, like, you've heard testimony during committee on this. Could you opine on on some of your thoughts with this as well as any discussions that were held at committee?
Yeah, so some of my thoughts are, as I mentioned during the committee meeting last week, I'm not a big fan of these kind of areas along Sullivan Avenue. I think many of us drive past this on a regular basis and, impound lots, towing yard, it's kind of an eyesore. The reality though is the view that we're going to have from this, so if the special permit variances are gonna be approved, the retention ponds put in and things, I think we'll actually make it be less bad than what it is now. So these are, in my mind, improvements to the area. Would I love to put in a nice, beautiful park and plant a bunch of trees and have a little, deli put in there and a coffee shop? Sure, that'd be great. That's not realistic though at this time, because that is kind of, how did you describe it earlier? The manufacturing or the industrial triangle?
Yeah. Kind of look around.
Yeah.
That's kind of.
So, obviously it's, not gonna have the nice, beautiful park and all of that anytime soon. So, but with the retention pond and some of that, I think it's gonna actually improve, some of that. Cause we did notice that, if you look at where it is along the map where the housing is, we talked about this a bit, and the retention pond's gonna be towards that, eastern side that's closest to the housing, so then everything else will then be more west, which is right by all the other industrialization areas.
Thank you.
Yep. Additional questions from committee members? Commissioner Armstrong?
Thank you for the presentation. You indicated um, towing business, what exactly will be stored on this site?
Yeah, so a small area, if you look on one of the site plans, it'll show kind of the southwest portion. There's going to be an area specifically designated for where the cars will be stored, and that will be within a fenced area. The rest of the site will be, well, you've got an office building, you've got kind of a traditional truck storage building, and then the rest will be open storage of trucks, trailers, equipment, things like that.
50-foot buffer required from the creek.
From the street.
Ultimately, what I'm getting at is concerned of like. Stuff in the gallon, sending parts in tows, it's rubber, you can consider it.
Yeah, the big thing is we have to go through the final site compliance plan process, which requires full review of engineering and all of those things. And then also with an impound lot, you get a yearly license, so they inspect your property every year to make sure that it complies with that. And the impound lot will be pretty far from the stream itself.
Additional questions from commissioners? Do you have any questions or concerns from community members?
This is actually a good thing. All the years I've lived here on the hilltop, I've never been back there. I knew it was back there. I didn't know what was back there, but I knew there was some businesses back there. And I think this would be a huge improvement for that area.
Thank you. Any additional questions, concerns, comments from community members? Seeing none, I'd like to make a motion that we vote on BZA 26-040 for the special permit and the variances regarding setbacks.
Second.
Do I have a second? The secretary, please take the roll.
Call your name, please indicate if you're in favor, opposed, or abstain on this application. We'll start again with Commissioner Chair Bates. How do you vote?
I'm a yes.
Start with myself as well. I'll say yes. And this time I'll move to Commissioner.
Yes.
Commissioner Kitchen.
Yes.
Commissioner Mead.
Yes.
Commissioner Routine.
Yeah.
Commissioner Smith.
Yes.
Commissioner Maddox.
Yes.
And Commissioner Holder.
Yes.
That is another 10-0-0.
Great. Thank you. And I'll send in the standard recommendation form to the city and you will be copied on that email. And then the city will follow up with you with additional next steps that you all need. And I know sometimes these special permits and things can get a little wonky with the folks downtown, but they'll follow up with you on all of that.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. All right. So the zoning committee did have a demolition permit come in. I have not heard a response yet from that applicant. Demolition permits, if you're unaware, are put on basically a pause for 60 days to allow any community feedback. The address for that is 499 Neshoba Avenue. I think it was tearing down a garage, but leaving the cement pad, if I'm remembering correctly. So if there are any community objections, please let me know and we can register those. If not, after the 60-day window expires, then the city will traditionally grant a demolition permit.
Can I ask this question?
Yeah.
With them leaving the pad there, does that give them, can they rebuild a garage without getting a permit?
I do not know what their plans are at this time and exactly, there's some nuance with that, I think that's traditionally what people plan to do. But I have not heard back. I sent an email off to them and never heard back, so, yep. That application only came in, that demo permit only came in about a week ago, so it's not a lot of this surprising that I haven't heard back from them. All right, our next meeting will be June 24th, right there on the border. I got 2 applications coming in. The Westwood Drive application will not be on the agenda for our June meeting. Our zoning committee will not meet in July because we are off in August for area commissions. So if you're concerned about that Westwood Drive application, we're looking to the end of summer into the fall. End of report.
Thank you. Okay, now seriously, Josh, government and legislation report.
We did not meet in May, but we will have a meeting on June 23rd.
Perfect. Alrighty, human services and education. We did meet, we didn't have any, pertinent updates, just some things that commissioners are working on. Commissioner Rick Kitchens has been doing some great work with, diving deeper into, advocacy for our senior citizens. So hopefully we'll get to have some presentation and dialogue next full commission. I volunteered at our Women's Respite Center. And yeah, so just elevating, of course, those things. The Women's Respite Center deals with folks like Elizabeth was talking about. So just continue to uplift, have those conversations and remembering our marginalized folks. Liquor permit. We have no applications at this time. And planning and economic development, Chair, do we have any updates to that?
Hi, everyone. We met on the 21st, I believe. We talked about neighborhood concern. We went diving and talking about housing programming. We talked about workforce and youth engagement since summer is coming. So talk about a couple of things that youth could do during the summer. And then with the housing, we came up with, like different programs that could do workshop with the families. And we talked about ways we could engage families, like we're gonna work on ways to bring more community members to come out to our meetings.
All right, so of course, Chair Carla of our Public Safety Committee is still out. Did public safety though still meet? Nope, okay. Yes, go ahead.
Next meeting, we have says tentatively, actually is scheduled on July 14th.
Perfect.
No agenda item as it's.
Okay, so yeah, our public safety meeting will, our committee will be meeting July 14th, which is in the step. And recreation and parks, did you have anything?
Yeah, we surveyed, this round was Borough Park in Lindbergh. And so those reports are being added to the group. We are at Glenview and Fulton coming up on the 20th, which is very close to actually where this 2350 Westwood application is. So if anyone is interested in that application in particular, please join us on the 20th at 9 at Glenview and come and see what that property looks like.
All right. So those are all the reports of our committees. Moving on, unfinished business. I currently do not have any specific items for unfinished business. Did any of our commission members have any unfinished business? No? Alrighty, folks, we're gonna go ahead and move into our new business, which is appointment to our 2 vacancies. So at this, yes,
Should Jocelyn present before we get into that or?
yes. Oh, she's here, yes.
So it's hiding in the bag.
Yeah, that's our unfinished, that was our unfinished business, guys.
So much. Oh, I saw already on. Nice.
Thank you for thinking of me. I was just gonna like sneak in the back for the rest of the meeting. Hello, everyone. If we haven't met, my name is Jocelyn Martinez Cortez. I work for Columbus City Council on the community engagement team. First things first, I would like to start with a reminder that my change in leadership in the last year has decided that the whole community engagement team will attend area commission meetings once a quarter. So this is the time that I'm here for this quarter, but if you all ever need anything, or if you'd like to share anything with me or the rest of the council team, please never hesitate to reach out. I'm always happy to hear from everyone. I'll start off with, there has been light mention of the Hilltop area in our recent city council agendas, from multiple departments. You can always feel free to go to, columbus.legislature.com to look up any legislation that we have going on. And a really fun hack is you can search up tons of keywords, whatever you're most interested in, to find some information about it. Of course, moving on, we have some events coming up, including another community meeting. If you're unfamiliar with council's community meeting, we host 4 a year. And we go around the city in different areas. We choose different areas every year, trying to hit as much of the city as we possibly can. This next one is going to be June 23rd at 6 p.m. It's from 6 to 7:30 at the Columbus Metropolitan Main Library. So it'll be in downtown, but just like in parking slots, I know, don't worry about it, because the parking has been, will be validated for anyone who's attending the event. So if you'd like to join us, I definitely welcome you to join us. These events are really interesting because it allows residents to have one-on-one time with both council members and city department leadership. So tons of great people in one great big room. I'll also add that Councilmember White is having a few hearings coming up, including a public utilities and sustainability hearing tomorrow in City Hall at 3:30 p.m. Any of our meetings, including our general meetings, you can always watch either on Facebook, CTV, YouTube. You can also always go back and rewatch them if you're interested. Councilmember White has also released 2 save the dates for the public utilities and sustainability committees, including a hearing on June 17th at United Methodist Church for all people on persons. And then another one on July 22nd at City Hall. And then definitely keep an eye out, because hopefully soon we'll have another announcement for another fun event coming up that we'll have in the Hilltop area. If you keep an eye out on our social media, it'll be posted there. And then of course, feel free to communicate if you have any questions that have to find that information. I'm hoping to release some information in the next week or so. A reminder that city council will be on recess, July this year. It used to be in August. This year, we're doing it in July. And I believe those are all of the updates that I have. Are there any questions, anything I can help with? Of course, you can always feel free to grab my information from chair, or, many other commissioners have my information as well. Again, always willing to meet. Ooh, one last thing was, if anyone has any events that you know of coming up in the community that you'd like to see city council table at, to pass out city council information, please feel free to let me know. I'm always happy to attend events and table. I will be at the West Side Bath. Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, folks, and also in unfinished business, we do have Lewis here from Zone N. They did end up making it, so we definitely want to give them a chance. Any updates?
Yeah, thanks for having me here today. I'm sorry I'm late. My wife had knee surgery today, so I wasn't gonna make it, but I felt like I should come out here and have a touch base. Those are just the zoning cards. Just wanted to provide an update on the project. As you know, we are still working to comprehensively update the city's zoning code for the first time in 7 years. Phase 1 was completed in 2024, and we're working on phase 2 right now. Phase 2 deals with a mixed use, industrial warehouse, and business and institutional campus. So like your office, your commercial, your retail, your industrial, that's what we're working on right now. We're continuing to do community outreach throughout the summer, attending area commissions like this, We are having one-on-one meetings with your zoning chairs and your area commission chairs as well. And we are attending Rise Up events as well. So if you have any questions, use that card to reach out to us. We have to answer the questions you have. We did decide to adjust our calendar based off a couple of things. We're still fine tuning the zoning code. We want to make sure that we have a zoning code that is most functional and the best fit for the city of Columbus. So we're just kind of tweaking some things. And with city council's change in their recess to July, what we wanted to do was make sure that we aligned our public engagement period when council was available. So we're aiming to begin the 6-day public comment period in late August of this year when they come back. So we'll start, and at that point in time, were many of you involved in phase one? Okay, so in phase one, some members of the public, so in phase one, we had a gallery downtown. We're gonna do a 60-day public comment period. We're gonna be having the gallery where you can come downtown. We are gonna invite the area commissions to come to the gallery to meet with their district representatives to talk about any questions and concerns that you may have. We're gonna have webinars, we're gonna have the one-on-ones, we're gonna be talking to the public. And we're gonna have an online survey where the community can provide their feedback as well, and any questions or any modifications they want to make to the code. In last year, we did the Columbus Growth Strategy. We made over 19,000 changes to the map based off community input, so we do value community input. We're not gonna agree on everything, but we'll try and find a very good balance between what the different needs are of the city of Columbus. So with that being said, we will be meeting with your zoning chair and area commission chair in July. When are you taking your summer recess?
August.
You're taking in August? Perfect. So, well, not perfect, but I'll probably come back. I'll probably come back in July then to give you some more finite days information. With the 6-day public comment period, we will also have 4 public hearings with council representatives. One of them is going to be over at the Gallery Ridge, is that the school over on the west side. One of them will be at the King Arts Complex, and we're going to have 2 of them at council. So we look forward to engagement, to having a conversation, and to figuring out what changes need to be made to our proposed code based off your input. I think that's everything I have for right now. That's it, I guess. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Thank you so much, Liz. Commissioners, do we have any questions? Joe, were you good? And community folks, while we have them here? Good. Alrighty, I think we're all good. Thank you. Definitely can't wait to be in contact.
And I'll just echo real quick, when the gallery is open, do your best to get down there. I know
Yes.
Dan spent a lot of time down there back for phase one. Going through, it's a great opportunity to be in conversation, dialogue, see everything posted right up there. So we'll definitely get those dates out to everybody, and maybe we'll all carpool down or something, or jump on Coda together.
Yeah. And just so you know, we're coming up, we have 9 new zoning districts.
Okay.
In this phase, to go along with the 6 that we had in phase 1. 3 industrial, 3 business and institutional campus, and 3 mixed use. So,
Thank you.
thank you very much.
Alrighty, folks, just one more time, making sure that we don't have any more unfinished business, updates, announcements, alrighty. All right, folks, so moving forward, we are going to begin our appointment process. If you do remember, last week, we did just, Josh, if you want to speak on it a little bit more, I'm like totally blanking. But, yeah, I'll pass that to Josh if you don't mind.
I got along as well, so. There's proposed.
There we go.
Right there. That's easy. So, boards, basically, all appointments shall be confirmed by a vote of the commission. No candidate shall be appointed without such vote, including in instances where only one candidate is nominated for an open seat.
majority vote of members in attendance shall be required for appointment. So this is in addition supplemental to the bylaws themselves, because the bylaws themselves do not state what one does in this instance, more or less, and it abides by Robert's rules by adding to the bylaws, which we don't currently have in our bylaws, that in order to be added to the commission or appointed to the commission, one needs to be voted. That's a general standing in Robert's rules. You wouldn't just walk on is the term, so.
Thank you. Yeah, folks, we definitely wanted to make sure we honor, community voice about just making sure our appointment process, is as efficient and as fair, as possible. Of course, these are still dialogues that are going on in government and legislation, so I definitely urge folks to come down, and add to that dialogue. But we definitely wanted just to, curate or, make more space, like I said, to make sure our appointment process is a little bit more efficient. So yeah. So with that being said, go ahead, Terry.
Never mind, I lost my train of thought.
Oh.
I had it here.
No, it's been a long Tuesday, guys. Alrighty then, so, we are going to follow the already, process, which is of course to be nominated by a commissioner, one, already current sitting commissioner. And you will have about, a few minutes, I would say about 3 to 5 minutes, to just introduce yourself. Of course, talk a little bit why, you desire to be on the commission. And then our commission will vote, as according to our proposed rule that we, did vote and agree on last commission meeting. So at this time, I am going to ask my city commissioners if, they have some nominees, and if so, if they could introduce them.
Thank you, Chair. So I have 3 nominees tonight that I'm very excited about. And, in total, we're gonna have more nominees than there are open seats. But we have an appointed seat coming up, as well as elections. I encourage everyone to run for election if you can't make one of the appointments tonight. But I'm very excited about the 3 candidates I have. And if you want more info on the election, feel free to stop by and talk to a commissioner after the election. Typically, I say a few short words about each candidate, but in the essence of time, I want to make sure that each candidate has time to talk about themselves, since we only have about an hour here. So I'll just go with the names of each of the candidates. So I nominate Kareem Jackson, Sean, and I'm gonna pronounce your last name wrong. McMahon, Sean McMahon, and Dr. Lace, Regula. Did I get that right, Doctor? Lease Regula. And those are my 3 nominees. Thank you.
Alrighty, so first up, we will.
Do all the nominations.
Alright, Go ahead, well, you ain't had the mic.
Oh, yeah. I could yell really loud, use my dad voice. I'd like to nominate Jennifer Jen Creighton, who has been an education advocate with Parents United for Public Schools, Columbus Education Justice Coalition, is a member of Board Watch, helping to hold our school board accountable to the community, and is lead organizer with Hands Off McCoy Park. Where, if you're unaware, they're doing work with parents and families trying to preserve and save McCoy Park from the hazards. $1 billion in our funds, so.
Can you spell them in?
Jen Creighton, Jenn Creighton, Crayton.
I definitely.
50-50.
All right, do we have?
I will nominate Jesse Baker, who reached out with interest and is looking for ways to serve our community, and I'm really excited to get more of him and have you all here.
All right, folks. All righty, folks, so, seeing that none of our city commissioners have, do you have, Joe?
I was also going to nominate Dr. Regular. So
Okay.
you.
All right, folks, so seeing that, we have no more nominees, we are gonna just start by, of course, folks who were announced and nominated. So we will first call Kareem Jackson up.
Or which seat are we voting to fill first?
Okay, so there are two seats, both seats go to, December 2028. So they're both the same length, in terms of term.
One, it was an elected seat. That was the seat that Commissioner Valentine had, although we didn't have the election last year. The other was the appointed seat that started, appointed in January, that James White had. We don't technically state in our bylaws which seat we would fill first, so. You have an opinion on that, we can discuss that.
Yeah, no, and I think in the interest of the actual term, I don't think that it's pertinent, so I think we're gonna.
I think the only issue,
Yeah.
and this is because I know OBC will
Okay.
bring this up probably. The appointed seat, so James's former seat, can go to somebody, that position has been someone who lives in the neighborhood or works or. So I think just
Okay.
having that clarity of which seat is which.
Mhm.
So I would recommend we do the neighborhood seat, since that's the more narrow one,
Okay.
and do the wider.
Okay,
But not that it really matters, it's just technical paperwork.
Do all the candidates live in the Hilltop?
I live a little further out. Hey, you know, Paso. I own a house on the Hilltop.
Okay, so you
Okay.
need to only be for the appointed seat.
Okay,
Okay.
so that does change which seat you can be for, but you're still for one of the two seats.
Okay, so it doesn't.
Yeah. And you're Mr. Jackson?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just for my notes here, we'll keep them up here,
Yep.
but this will be the appointed seat, only the white papers.
Alrighty. Okay, folks, so, James, you're up. Go ahead. No, sorry, Jackson, Mr. Jackson, you are up, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm Kareem Jackson. I've been a realtor in Columbus for about 12 years. A lot of familiar faces on the west side that know me. A lot of people in Columbus have known me from being in a lot of community involvement. I love the Hilltop. First house I ever bought was the Hilltop. I'm an aspiring developer when it comes to affordable housing, you know, just trying to help as many people as possible. I originally grew up in Washington, DC, like proper DC, so understand what it is to be a part of a community and try to help community as much as possible, especially with the skills that I have that is in development and real estate investment. I kind of see the logical approach, but I'm also open-minded. So I really don't want to put up anybody's time because I know it's getting late. People are hungry, especially myself. I get a little angry when it's past, it's about 8 o'clock. So yeah, it's just a little bit about myself.
No. Yes.
So we gotta
Yeah.
vote in here for
Okay.
everybody first.
Yeah. Alrighty, thank you, Mr. Jackson. So next is John. Am I get, okay, y'all.
Just start from the top or three.
Oh, Sean, okay, that's why I'm like, wait, am I? So Sean, sorry, y'all. My eyes are closing.
Hello. I'll keep it as short as possible because everybody knows that the great news is the one who's done this early. My name's Sean McMahon, and I work directly in the Hilltop right off the West Broad for a sober clinic. I work as a peer recovery supporter for the area. I represent over 150 clients. We have over 20 houses in the area. I directly came through the program. Ashley helped me get started, and I was able to purchase a house right over here on Ogden just recently. So that really inspired me to become part of this program, or part of this committee, part of the commission. I think mostly, if you were to ask me what my goal of becoming a commissioner is that I believe in service. Everything I do now in my life is service. I service to guys, I service my community, I service, everything I do is about service. It is the basis of my life right now. And I think that if, if you ask me what committees, community relations, I have a huge grasp of what's available for resources because I directly work with so many, living guys. And, so I have a direct, database, if you would say, about what's going on in the community, how it's going, where it's going. And like I said, I love the community so much that I bought a house just down the street. I had the opportunity to move out, but no, now I work here and now I work here. And that's a big portion of my life, was this service, like I was saying. I'm just gonna, like I said, early meeting is always a better meeting.
Thank you, Sean. And I promise I'm good with names, so I promise.
It was Sean.
Yes, sir. All righty, next we will have, Jen Creighton. I got that right?
Just has to see you.
How about now?
There it is.
Okay, there we go. So my name is Jen Creighton. As Mr. Bates, said, I am an organizer with the Columbus Education Justice Coalition, along with the Parents United for Public Schools. We actually have a West Side chapter here that meets every Wednesday morning here at the library. And then I am also the lead organizer for the McCoy Park Community Response Team. I was never really interested in public service. I kind of fell into it because I have a 13-year-old son who's over in the teen room, who is developing his own leadership. And I figured that if I'm going to help him and show him what civic pride really is and what advocacy is, then I need to be about it. So that's why I went ahead and emailed Mr. Bates on a whim. Jump in and pull. I like to jump in and do that. Very good.
All right. Thank you, Jen. Thank you for your hard work during that time as well. Jesse Baker.
Obligatory test, all right. Hello, I'm Jesse Baker. I appreciate Ms. Wilkerson nominating me and responding to my email. Recently, I come off a campaign running for the state senate to represent our district, District 25. I hope I got your vote. If not, I don't hold it against you. But I ran on a belief that the best form of leadership and democracy comes from the communities and building ourselves up. So I wanted to continue to instill that value by being a part of this commission and by helping make the Hilltop the best neighborhood that we know it is. I live right over on Algonquin, a couple blocks over. I've lived here for 5 years. My first home was bought here. My wife and I live there, and I couldn't imagine a better place for us to have started our lives. And my desire is to ensure that we keep putting our best foot forward in this neighborhood to ensure a thriving community that benefits both the actual people who live here and also encourages economic development, but not at the expense of what we cherish. So hope I get your nomination and appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse. All right, Dr. Magula.
Hello. All right, there we go. My name is Dr. Lisa Regular, here in the Hilltop for 7 years this summer. I originally came here with my husband and my daughter because of employment. I work in higher education, currently at Otterbein University, teaching the biology department and enjoy dealing with young adults. Not always my own, but different set of challenges there. And we were one of the folks that we started out renting, and after my husband's passing, I bought the home that we had been renting because I didn't want to leave. We really found this place to be where my daughter and I can settle down and settle roots. Have been involved in community service for as long as I can remember in various ways. I'm currently working as the co-chair of Ohio Equal Rights, adding equal rights amendment language to Ohio's constitution, as well as overturning the 2004 constitutional ban on same-sex marriage. Also am sitting on the board of the Women Voters of Ohio and the Planned Parenthood Advocates of Ohio. And have served on Island Youth Garden board for a short term and still love the work that I do over there. I'm a country boy. And the Highland Youth Garden and the Hilltop Education Garden were two of the places that I first saw as, okay, I could be at home here. And really excited about the fact that I get to take my summer break by doing an AmeriCorps Vista at Franklinton Farms. That's not Hilltop, but it's still getting my hands in the dirt. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you. Alrighty, thank you all. Thank y'all for being able to capture yourselves so wonderfully and still keeping it short. I did not do that. So when it was my turn to get appointed, so so thank you guys. So moving on, I'm just gonna draw on, y'all know Nick and Joe are like my support people, but I just vote on each candidate and then do majorities until we get down to the most. What do you think, Joe? You're good with numbers.
Yeah, I'm triple checking our language here.
Well, of course, we'll do the appointment. Yeah.
Can I make a special
Yeah.
request? Yeah. Could we actually do the elected seat? Because I think it would actually
Okay.
make more sense because then you'd have a narrower
Yeah.
set of candidates. Yeah, thank you.
Perfect. All right. We can do it that way. So with our elected folks first, and just, Mr. Jackson was the only person who owned the business, correct?
Rental rather still that.
Yes, the own property.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do,
Board, sorry.
yep. Perfect.
Okay. We have a quorum, so that's step one. Step two here, if more than two candidates are seeking nomination to fill. And no majority favors a particular candidate out of the ballot, the tie is determined by lot, which we will handle if needed. Effectively, we are looking for a candidate to receive at least 6 votes tonight, because there's 10 of us on the first ballot. Otherwise, the individual with the fewest votes on that first ballot will come off, and we will re-vote with the remaining individuals. We just said that this is the elected first.
Yes. Thanks, Lee.
Thank you.
Okay. This is. Sure. That's your report of the here. Okay, as we go around, please just state the name of the individual for whom you vote. And at the end of the round, we will tally it up. And I am just gonna start with myself and then move to my right, and my ballot will be for Dr. Ringo. All right, Mr. Franco, how do you vote? Sam? Okay. Thanks.
Dr. Regula.
Okay, Smith.
McMahon.
Dr. Regular.
I'm sorry, Mateen. I was looking. Okay, Commissioner, I mean,
Baker.
all right, Commissioner Bates.
Jen Creighton.
Okay, all right, Commissioner Kitchen.
McMahon.
Okay, Commissioner Wilkerson.
Baker.
And Commissioner.
I will go with regular.
Okay, so we have one for Ms. Creighton and two for Mr. Baker, three for Mr. McMahon, and four for Dr. Regula. Sorry, Jen, thank you very much for being here. Please.
Oh, we got the second ballot.
Yeah, technically there still is second one vote, and please, so hang on for that. Okay, we will go to the second ballot. That's just, and regular. We only knocked off the bottom most for that round. Okay, and I'll start with myself again, but I'll go in a different order, starting over here with Commissioner Amin. Okay. I'll continue to vote for Lise. All right, Commissioner Amin.
Baker.
Okay, then I'll come to Commissioner Mateen.
Dr. Regular.
Commissioner Smith.
McMahon.
Okay. Matters.
Regular.
McMahon.
Okay, Commissioner Edwards.
Regular.
Commissioner Wilkerson.
Baker.
Commissioner Kitchen.
McMahon.
And Commissioner Bates.
I'll go McMahon.
Okay. That brings us to Mr. Baker with 2, and then Mr. McMahon with 4, and Dr. Regula with. Thank you for consideration. Okay. Great. All right, here we are on the third ballot. When I call your name, please indicate which of the 2 individuals. Starting with myself, I'm going to continue with Dr. Regula. And then I'll move to my left. Regular. Okay. Wilkerson.
Dr. Regular.
Sure. Kitchen.
McMahon.
Commissioner Bates.
Dr. Regular.
Okay, Commissioner Amin.
Dr. Regular.
Commissioner Mateen,
Dr. Regular.
Commissioner Smith,
McMahon.
Commissioner Maddox,
Regular.
and Commissioner Klingo. Okay, three and I got this. Yep, seven, because there's 10 of us. So that's third ballot, least regular. It's, okay, congratulations.
Y'all are too quiet today. Like British Parliament.
And so we still have them. Great.
Dr. Regular, just, an official congratulations. So, well, I guess I'll say that I'll save my spiel on time. But congratulations, Dr. Regular. And on the first round, folks, definitely stick around for the appointment seat.
And here. Now. Mr. Jackson. Sorry.
Oh,
That's not bad. Nobody doesn't know how long with it like me.
6 outright majority, or will, reduce the candidates' basis of votes.
Yes, I did. I know when I was appointed, I didn't listen, but my Democratic started on the knee.
Okay, real. Right, when I call your name, please indicate the individual who you desire to appoint to this next seat. Again, with myself, and I will. I'll go to Mr. McMahon. Move to my right this time, Mr. Klingo.
McMahon.
Mr. Maddox.
McMahon.
Mr. Smith.
Jackson.
Commissioner Mateen.
Right.
Thank you. Commissioner Me.
Jackson.
Okay, Commissioner Bates.
Jen Creighton.
Commissioner Kitchen.
McMahon.
Commissioner Wilkerson.
Baker.
Oh, sorry, I put that wrong. And Commissioner Edwards. Baker. We've ended up with a three-way tie. Two and two, Great Baker Jackson with four for McMahon. Let me see what our procedures.
Yeah.
It's harder with an even number of people too, so.
Well, I was thinking the last one, but not the last one.
Yeah.
I started messing like, wait a second, dude, what's gonna happen? And
Just reloaded straight on.
I got pressured by the mass.
Reloaded. It's been like tied like this.
Yeah, I think that's basically. Much. If no candidate garners a majority of the vote, the previous procedure continues until the candidate is selected, which is what we just did on the last election. Process.
Or somebody.
See if there's anything else that I'm missing, further on. We could ask if any of the candidates would be willing to withdraw to reduce down and. But I think that's still.
Yeah, I'm not fan, because I'm the. Sometimes the best people be like, oh, I'm so humble. Yeah. You know. It's like, I like the whole, I like the people that are working with that.
What do you think this is?
All right, let me go to Roberts, because it doesn't, we have a specific procedure for this.
Can we just have the vote of the three? No, no.
Let's vote again.
Unless somebody wants to pull lots. It's the only thing in bylaws, we can pull lots.
Give me a second to think about it. How about I take? Me just realizing that as soon as it was going down my throat. All right.
Secretary Ardro. Could we just like try to revote? I imagine some people may have been on the fence and might change their vote, which could.
I'm absolutely okay to do that. I just wanted to make sure that we're not missing a procedure on our item.
Gotcha.
And we can always just go to Roberts to, sort out the additional procedures.
Okay.
Yeah, my quick Google search, revoting the assembly can immediately hold a second vote to see if minds have changed.
Yeah. There's nothing in our bylaws that prevents that specifically. And if no candidate garners a majority of this vote, previous procedure will continue until a candidate is selected.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Great. Okay, we will, repeat the appointment process. This will be the second ballot. And as per typical, when I call your name, please indicate the individual for the. Hopeful. I'll start with myself, and I will say Baker. Move to my right, Commissioner Klingo. Yeah. Okay, Commissioner Maddox.
McMahon.
Commissioner Smith.
Jackson.
Commissioner Mateen.
Creighton.
Commissioner Bean.
Jackson.
What was that?
Jackson.
Thank you. Commissioner Bates.
Creighton.
Commissioner Kitchen.
McMahon.
Commissioner Wilkerson.
Baker.
Commissioner Baker. Okay, we have now two individuals with 3 and 2 individuals with 2.
Moves us forward.
Yeah, there's no vote.
Side bet. Side pod, like those off of that.
No.
We should have to disclose and walk in who skipped dinner already and who hasn't, because I think we all get a little sad happy when we skip dinner.
Who's been up since 6 of them?
Right?
A lot of people, that's the problem.
And this thing can be really.
I'm gonna go to St. Patrick's. But then I know, and I'm saying anything about the wings. I don't know.
Bass, questions of the candidates?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to ask a few more questions, if that's okay. I think that, as we're thinking about this and thinking about, for the third, ballot in this case, might help us to understand what you plan to do or want to do as a commissioner. So just to the group, can you please just describe the type of committee, or we could even tell you specific committees, but if there's a project that you're particularly interested in or an advocacy group that you're particularly interested in, would you be willing to share a little bit about that? Either with your existing work or new work that you might want to get into. We'll just start here on the left and say a few words. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Sean, and, they like to call me Sean. Yeah. He was calling me John every day. He's Sean McMahon. So I'm gonna brief you guys on something that I'm trying to start up, or trying to work hard for, and trying to get started. If you picture the word nice, NICE, and you change it to NYCE, now your community excels. Okay, now your community excels. And what I would like to do is I have 150 clients in the area, and they love to do service work as well. It's a big part of the program that I work for. And what we want to do is try to see if we can't get some donations, some dumpsters dumped off in the back of these alleys. And I'll get my guys, I'll get these service workers to come out and clean up those back alleys. You know, have you ever been over there by, right over there by like Hague and that gas station and seen how bad it is back there behind there? All the way down that by Powell there, that alley behind Powell is a wreck. I mean, they're burning down fences back there. I don't understand all that, but what I do understand is nice. All right, I got a group of guys. Now your community excels because it's nice. Because I got a bunch of nice guys who are using in the area, and now they want to clean up the area. And so being part of that program, I think that a big part of it, when you say now your community excels, now you can excel because you're one of my nice guys. Not my nice guys, but a community nice guy. And I think that if I could just be part of any kind of the community relations, or even somebody had mentioned the financial planning one, because Ashley's program when she was at the Franklinton that I took here at the community, that library here, changed my life. It was what gave me the ability to buy a house here. Changed my life for a little program, not little, but huge to me at the point. But if you think about nice guys, and all right, now your community excels, I think it's just gonna be an easy sell to anybody that wants to help the community. And it's basically just cleaning up these back areas, places that are just, you've been behind some of these alleys, you've driven down some of these alleys, and it's just a wreck. And that's a big portion of just who I am, and whether or not I'm selected for commissioner, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna clean up these back alleys. That's one of my hugest goals. You just, is that a word?
Yes.
But like I said, a meeting that ended early. Now it's looking like we're gonna stay here for a little bit, but I'll pass it on to the next guy who's nominated.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, I don't have a specific project. What I care about is the community overall. What I have seen happen across Ohio and what's happening in our communities is people are getting left behind because people aren't participating within the community. People are not having the conversation with our neighbors about the problems they're facing. People are not spending time in the areas they are supposed to be representing. And I got tired of that, which is why I ran when I ran, and which is why I'm here now, because I am tired of not seeing people participate in our communities to build them up. And this is a great place for us to do that. I have seen businesses shut down across the street from me. I have seen people who are unable to afford housing in the area because property taxes are going up and we can't seem to do anything. I'm here because I want to do something. I'm here to get shit done and to help out our communities and make sure that they are being heard and seen. Because that is the most important thing we can be doing as a community, is engaging and lifting. The whole point of government, in my opinion, is to reduce harm and bring people up from harm. And that's why I'm here.
Thank you, Mr. Creighton.
So kind of like him, was tired of the same old, the displacement masked as development. I think here in the greater Hilltop area, one of the reasons that I love being here, my grandparents have lived on Columbiana since they were 20-year-olds. Back when the Hilltop was the jewel of Black community. They raised me with pride, they raised me with joy. And I was talking with family at a graduation the other week. And the one thing that they said that resonated is that once you make friends with somebody from the West Side, you stay friends.
Hello.
On the East Side, they talk about your friend will stab you in the back in 2 minutes, just because you said something wrong. But the moment that our community needs to come together, I know who I can.
Yeah.
And I have always worked in the school advocacy realm. But I'm also knowing and worrying that our area cannot grow, our city cannot grow until we bridge both healthy schools and healthy neighborhoods. And they rely on each other. I want to be able to end the food desert that happens from the beginning of the Hilltop all the way down.
Yeah.
There's nothing. I have no place to walk because the Family Dollar shut down. I want to see the sidewalk repairs that they did on Richardson Avenue actually be ramps and be handicap accessible, because they're not. And that's part of walking the neighborhood, making sure that our trash is cleaned up, making sure it takes the whole community. So when I talk about like, I jumped into this on a whim, it wasn't necessarily a whim. It's, I want to leave better for my son and have him pick up where we left off.
Too good. Just vote for those three. Take Kevin's advice.
Is that an official?
Yeah.
Removal at this moment?
Yeah.
All right.
Miss Jen, I will say all my homegirls from the east side and the north side do say they most ride or die friends. So she gotta play about that.
Thank you all for elaborating. Are we move on to our third ballot?
Yes.
Thank you all for your patience. Okay, for your name, please indicate the candidate for whom.
The library will be closed in under 30 minutes.
Okay.
Let's see how many times we can tie this puppy.
Please do that now. The library is closed promptly at 9 p.m. Thank you.
Okay. I'll start with myself. Ms. Creighton. And I will move again to my right, Mr. Kluger. And Mr. Maddox.
Ma'am.
Commissioner Smith.
McMahon.
Commissioner Mateen.
Creighton.
Commissioner Amin.
Baker.
Commissioner Bates.
Creighton.
Commissioner Kitchen.
McMahon.
Robertson.
Baker.
And Commissioner Anderson. I really want Baker.
Unplug my computer.
The library is closing.
We have a good problem here.
It is
This
a good
is a
problem.
really good film.
We do have another opening, right?
We do have another opening next month. please come back.
Wanna do?
Oh, that is my job, huh?
I suppose we have to keep going.
Yeah, we gotta keep
Other
going.
options,
Yeah,
because our
yeah, you're
bylaws
right,
have
you're
no
right.
other options.
What again?
Okay, we're on our fourth ballot.
Dan just slowly stood up.
Wow, Dan's done.
Thanks, Dan.
Over there.
Okay, when I call your name, please indicate the individual for whom you. So. We'll once again start with myself. And. I will say. I need to like just flip them. I don't know. McMahon. This time I'll move to my left this time. Commissioner Evers. Baker. Commissioner Wilkerson.
Bakers.
Commissioner Kitchen.
And
Commissioner Bates.
Creighton.
Commissioner Amin.
Baker.
Commissioner Mateen.
Creighton.
Commissioner Smith.
McMahon.
Commissioner Maddox.
McMahon.
Commissioner Klingo. Okay. I count 6 here for Mr. McMahon. Which is the majority on the fourth ballot.
It's from.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I counted 5.
Yeah, same here.
Ardro, Kitchen, Mateen, Smith, Maddox.
No, I said Creighton.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay, sorry, John, I wasn't loud enough.
So with that then, Ms. Creighton would drop off, with 2. Who do I have that is?
We can't.
So you got Baker and McMahon.
That's because it's on the third.
Ms. Creighton, please come back July.
So I need to make sure, yeah,
Okay.
pretty sure it was 5, Ardro, Kitchen, Smith, Maddox, Klingo. McMahon on that ballot. Which is still not the majority.
Correct.
However, we will move to 2 candidates. Hate talking about you.
I'm very clinical.
Yeah.
People first language, though.
Okay, we will move to the 5th ballot for the appointment. I will not start with myself this time. I'm going to start with Commissioner Smith on my right. Please indicate either Mr. Baker or Mr. McMahon.
McMahon.
And I'll move to Commissioner Mateen.
Baker.
Commissioner Mead.
Baker.
Commissioner Bates.
Baker.
Okay, Commissioner Kitchen.
McMahon.
Commissioner Wilkerson.
Baker.
Commissioner Edwards.
Baker.
Good. Good, yeah.
What up, John?
You don't know that.
Commissioner Klingo.
McMahon, good guy.
All right, we have officially reached lots. We have a tie between 2 remaining candidates. We will put their names in, and it says that the secretary is supposed to pull the ring. If anyone else would like to do that, please.
By the bylaws, you gotta do it.
I know.
Can't change it. I gotta do this
Yeah.
again next.
Does anyone have a hat?
Do it.
Here's the piece of paper. We get these to be equal size. Here you go, Joe. You like to write out the name?
example of why we would like you all to come to government legislation and help resolve such problems.
Very that.
All right.
Crumble them up. Would you listen?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this is a chair's job because I don't want to be accused of not crumpling properly.
Oh. Equal crumbling. Where's the hat?
Democracy in action.
The new revised.
Every vote matters.
Hey, yo. Mr. McMahon.
Remember, next month, there's one more appointment to be made.
Yeah,
Please, please, please come back.
please come back. I will say, all of you are absolutely phenomenal candidates. And the work that you have already done, started doing, are doing, is absolutely beautiful. So please come back. Even if you don't, stay in touch, stay in communication with the commission. And
Quick question, Chair, at the July meeting, will we have petitions for the fall election available?
They are.
yes, they are available.
They're
Now.
currently available, all right.
Yep,
That's the other option.
election,
Run for the position
Yeah.
this
Yes.
fall.
yes. So yeah, please stay in touch for updates, and dates with that. Congratulations to Mr. McMahon, and Dr. Regula. Ola BC, who is our liaison, she's right here. I'm gonna work with her to make sure I get your guys' appointment paperwork filled out. Your term goes to 2028. And stick around just a couple minutes very shortly, so that we can get contact info so I can get you guys set up, okay? All right. Okay, so if,
About to motion to.
okay, so we can go ahead.
I got one question.
Remind me your question, Terry.
How many people are currently appointed to this commission without being elected?
Yeah, I can tell you here.
Seems like we've taken the election out of it now, which is being.
I think we have to define though. Appointed versus.
That had where they got vacancy, they leave it until the election.
Some do, yes, but just making sure there's a clarification between appointing somebody versus an appointed seat.
We have three are officially like quote unquote appointed. One of these candidates tonight, Mr. McMahon, is filling the seat that was the vacant white. The remaining are filling seats that were otherwise, vacant.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Alrighty, folks, so we go ahead and motion to adjourn. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Perfect.